Recently, I haven't been killing it in my games quite as much as I'd like to. And by killing it, I mean the enemy laner. I've been having small advantages or even just surviving a lane. That's not enough. This is season 2021. We need to kill the laner. It dawned upon me since this Ornn in my game yesterday chastised my jungler for ganking top. I guess he was just mad because he was dying to ganks all the time. So he got mad at my jungler for camping Thresh top, saying that Thresh is an early only champion and therefore we're going to lose the game. Even though I was giving all of my kills to that Xin. Unfortunately, that Xin proceeded to not carry the game. And actually no one in that game carried the game. It's quite sad actually. But in any case, we might as well take his advice and go early Thresh. Get the big boy AD. AD and health sounds good. And just keep getting more AD after we kill our opponent with Ignite. None of that teleport. Ugh, get that out of here. In order to be mathematically correct in killing our laner, we must be a dark magician. We must be the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. I don't mean Ooga Booga Thresh, you can just get the wizard part out, because we're playing AD, which does have magic damage, but we're playing AD. And that means attack damage and health. Gale Force is here just because it's a good item and I like it, but more than likely we're going to be going for these bad boys with their 45 AD, which is 5 more than you'll get by buying Titanic Hydra first, which is what I usually go for because I like it. But these also have 20 ability haste. They have less health, especially Stridebreaker, 200 less health. But Stridebreaker also has attack speed and it's active slows. Gordrinkin doesn't have that going for it. And I really like that attack speed and the ability haste, so definitely want to give these a try. On the boots, we have Lucidities and Sork boots open just to kill our laners even more. Have more ults, have more boxes for that Ooga Booga. And we have these old reliables, I guess, and pretend that's not there. And then just more attack damage and health. Sure, Storax is weak on range, who cares? Wits End because we need attack speed. Attack speed is good on Thresh without infinite scaling. At the end, attack damage, health, attack damage, health, attack damage, health. Does it have attack damage and health on it? Buy it. Does it have ability haste too? Brilliant, buy it. That's how we're going to go about this, and we're just going to see if it works, I guess. This game starts with an apology, kind of, because this was supposed to be a live game. But do you want to listen to that one? Yeah. I had a slow realization after I pressed stop recording that my mic wasn't on and the audio was completely off. Luckily, double checking right now, it's definitely on, so I guess we get a replay commentary now. In any case, this was supposed to be a much more, I guess, fun game. I was pretty hyped in the commentary that you'll never hear. It was a funny experience, no matter what. As you saw in the intro clip, if I remember to put it there, I hope I did. This was just supposed to be me, I guess, practicing a more aggressive Thresh, and unfortunately my opponent happened to be Singed, who is anything but aggressive, and instead his aggression is walking away from you while spewing out poison gas. We have a jungle Gwen on the enemy team, jungle Lilia on our team, AP's mid, and then the usual bot lane shenanigans of whatever AD carry is good right now. And I got pretty hyped about this point. Not because I did it, because I do it all the time, but the fact that I had recorded live, quote unquote, some, I guess, Gwen counterplay that people don't really do. Anyway, I put a ward down, just coming up to 3 minutes, trying to be ready for the Gwen gank that will come up, if she does. It is a good time for someone without any kind of CC to go for a gank after their red buff. And a top lane, especially a pushing Thresh, would be a really good target for that. I end up kind of tunnel visioning on my Grasp of the Undying here a little bit, as our Lily is clearing up that and the grab starts to spawn. And unfortunately it's very hard to be aggressive with this Singe, and at this point he flips the cannon out. Now you see, you might have noticed this girl coming in right now, because I didn't, even though I put the ward there specifically for that. That's what happens, I guess. So whilst I'm trying to poke him because he doesn't have a flip anymore, I end up kind of attacking Gwen, flipping over, flashing and flaying, and then when I get flipped, I realize, okay then, and then just start smacking the shit out of Gwen. She is so squishy, and she has to back away, and now I'm fighting Singe to level up with a minion wave, and this does work out for me quite a bit. I'm able to stop him from autoing me a little bit and wait for my grasp. Lily is coming in to deal with the Gwen, who was trying to get away, so I wouldn't have been able to kill her otherwise, and the gas does keep me away from the Singed, as does that. If it wasn't for Lilia, I would either be dead because Gwen comes back, or I would have left it at a stalemate, or technically a win for Singed because the lane is on his side. But Jungle Lilia helps me push the wave afterwards. That's so I get a bit of an advantage. An easy back, especially because I don't have teleport. I ignited Gwen, and that was that. That wasn't the Gwen counterplay, by the way. It's not flashing and flaying. We'll get to that when we get to it. This is going to be a bit more analytical, I guess, even though this is really just a stupid, fun, normal game. Where I play a bit more aggressively than normal. At least I attempt to with the Singed. No doubt I'll be attempting this again, and chances are, on our first stream back, in 2 days from now, because this is uploading on Saturday, tomorrow, relative to me recording this, you can watch my games live. We'll be doing a mix of League of Legends, of course, and some other games. We're incorporating variety into more streams because it's more fun. And for me, personally, playing League for an extended period of time will just drive me insane. Maybe we can change that as I kind of warm up to it again. And I made a funny joke out of the live version of this, but we'll never hear it. So whatever. Singed flipped a minion, so I wanted to hook him, and then I just completely didn't see 2 minions in front of me. In any case, I'm trying to get my grasps up, and now he does this again. And this is like telegraphing the Gwen. This time I hadn't warded. So I walk away, I box the Singed. Now he doesn't have his items yet. But this leads me to just walk down to Lilia, who is also in the area, which is why I felt a little more secure. And we're slowing down because there's a lot to keep track of. So she gets drowsy. I attack and flay before the sleep goes, and then I think I'm in the clear. Then you remember Gwen has Ignite, because Gwen doesn't actually need Flash, in my opinion, as well as this Gwen player. This Gwen player has Dark Harvest, by the way, which is a little bit weird. Unfortunately, Lilia is going to chase into the wave and the gas, miss her Q, and die to, I'm guessing, gas and casters, because it didn't look like she was in tower range, nor did Singed attack. Okay, so you can see a different starting item for me. This is not an early Wit's End, although that would make sense against Singed and Gwen. I'm actually going for Stridebreaker. It gives similar stats, in fact, better stats than Titanic Hydra, which is always my go-to. And I still think Titanic Hydra is a really good item, and I was wondering about this halfway through the game as well, because I never go for Stridebreaker or Goredrinker. And every time I go for Goredrinker, I feel underwhelmed, even though its stats are really nice. And Stridebreaker arguably gives better stats for Thresh, because it has that 20% attack speed as well. And I think its active is just much more useful, even though you're stacking slows upon more slows than CC. It really does work. You can't have too much CC, unless you're stacking them really badly. Okay, and for some reason I just noticed its damage more. That's probably just confirmation bias, but whatever, who cares. Stridebreaker Thresh seems pretty good. And it gives move speed, which is really good for someone that really wants to land those hooks and flays and catches. But of course, this game, as you can kind of already tell, is very much going in my team's favor, because that's what matchmaking is right now. It always seems like matchmaking is probably the biggest deciding factor in which team will win. And you often see this quote going around that 40% of games you're destined to win, 40% of games you're destined to lose, and about 20% of the games you play actually have anything to do with your input. Obviously, you can dramatically lower your win rate, but it's hard to artificially inflate your win rate unless you're some kind of godly smurf. So, Duo Q can definitely help with that, but this isn't a ranked game. This is not the time nor topic for such a discussion. Instead, we have my permanent anguish at the fact that I recorded this game with no sound or mic. Anyway, Singed has an interesting choice of items here. He's gone for his Chain Vest, which he bought earlier, which makes sense, I guess. Thresh technically builds AD, so a lot of people gravitate towards buying armor. I would not hard commit to a Chain Vest. He flips a minion here by accident, so I just go okay and go for these attacks here. He puts some glue on the floor and just kind of walks back and forth, missing the timing like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And walking into the box before it's over. Not like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! But missing the timing just has a Yu-Gi-Oh! PTSD for me. as a U-Bell player. Anyway, so he kind of tried to leave the box too soon and ends up dying. I've had this before with like Vagar cages, which is arguably much worse. But he just kind of stands there and does nothing in the box, and he already flipped, so he's kind of useless. Then we just beat him down. Now, having all this AD, by the way, we bought a longsword because on my first pack I bought 2 longswords, and I thought that went into Hammer, which went into Goredrinker. But hammer doesn't go into Gourdrinker, so I just have this loose longsword just kind of here until I sell it for a Titanic later. Now we have Stridebreaker. Let's look at Stridebreaker real quick, because now this is a discussion video rather than a funny video. 45 AD, which is more than Titanic will give you first item. Titanic, I believe, gives you about 50 AD. Straight up. Roughly. Or was it 40? It might be 40, actually, but that maths doesn't add up to me. 45 AD is like a little more than a BF sword. Very good. 20% attack speed, very good. There aren't many AD attack speed items outside of the Mythics and Storm Razor. So very nice. You could also go into a Storm Razor from here if you wanted to keep going that way, but that'll make you very squishy. Is not the aim of this. Hopefully I said in the intro clip, which I actually have to re-record. So 300 health as well, really nice, and 20 ability haste, excessively nice, as well as a very nice slow active which lets you auto a bit more. You can see that I tried to Stridebreaker him here, I believe. I'm not sure if it landed, but then he gets away with that swiftness. So the swiftness is actually really helping him against this Stridebreaker. So actually, on the jungle side of things, Gwen is doing kind of well. She rushed a Merc Treads, which I don't agree with, before any other mythic or legendary item, and is doing slightly better than Lilia. Lilia does have a bit more CS, and Lilia, I think, ends up being the better player and gets her mythic way sooner than Gwen, and has tier 2 boots to boot as well. Maybe it's just me. I do not see, like, people call Gwen overpowered. I was talking about this in the live game, or annoying to play against and stuff, but I just don't have that. Now this, I was so happy with this. I was so happy with this, because I bet some of you guys saw me get flipped and you were like, oh no, this is the put him under the tower move. I invented that. Okay, I didn't invent that, but I was so happy. In replay commentaries, I never wanted to like go back 15 seconds anymore, but we're gonna do it. Okay, so I realize that my minions are going, so what he gonna want to do, right? Put me under the tower. Watch this. Flash and flip. I still have flash though. All good. So this made him engage. So we just put him with confidence. We get ourselves low, and then we put him in the box. That makes him really slow, and then we kill him because we have so much damage. Because Stridebreaker, just having AD and that extra little burst on Stridebreaker is so good. Because if he's flashing for a kill, then he's not flashing out the box. It might seem like I'm kind of making this up afterwards and being like, oh, I'm so big brain. I totally intended that. I kind of did. It's a bit half and half, but I definitely had the idea when I saw the minions going, or else I'd have just been out of there. But it's fun. It's fun to do that. It's kind of a reactionary thing, and I like to kind of plan ahead. Like if someone does this, they'll do this. It's great. Anyway, we have a doo-doo here. Just thought I'd mention that because I can make a PSO stupid meme. So Gwen comes in, and we just slap people. Look at these chunky auto attacks. This is exactly what I said in the live game. We have some chunky auto attacks going into these fights right now, where we don't have our Titanic yet, and they're only going to get chunkier. The great thing about it as well is that when Samira thinks she's all safe from the ranged attacks with her W, mind, we have 0 melees on our team. Thresh doesn't care. Thresh doesn't have projectiles to be destroyed, except the hook and lantern. So that's good. Anyway, I tried to I tried to chase this Singe, but I have actually no idea where he went, so let's yeah, he went to the jungle, immediately recalled. That's where I figured. But just in case, I figured he might walk backwards, but he didn't, so he gets away. Whatever. This is a fun game. We're 25 to 14. The enemy does have 2 dragons, and they were doing well, but then the people that were doing well start dying. And we do actually purchase quite smartly, I think. Intelligently, I should say. And our scaling is completely nuts with the Nivea with the tier, the Kai'Sa with the tier. Both going to have tons of damage. Kraken Slayer as well, so their armor is just pointless. Gwen moves a bit too close to this and ends up... We know that we have a control ward, so that she can't possibly know. Now Gwen is immune. I do get hit by the edge of this Galio here, and it's a bit scary because giving CC for that long, normally very scary, but we have so much health from the Stridebreaker. Very nice. We box, and that stops them from chasing us too much. You can see Cassiopeia just tanks it like a champ. Lilia just about whiffs, so attack here. Gwen going in for some 0 stack Qs. I do make a point that you can actually play Gwen and use a 0 stack Q, but not like that. She does it again, no stacks on it, and I'm just attacking it from over the wall. Do you know, it's chonky auto attacks whilst Lilia is an Azonia's, but I've already used my Lantern for Janna. But check out the chonk. Oh, that's for a shield bow. Chonky. Hit him with the chonk. Oh, another one. The lifesteal, who cares? Ignite for kill. Should have ignited first, then she wouldn't have gotten all that lifesteal and triumph. But it's whatever. At this point, the last person alive is Cassiopeia, who I thought was Janna for some reason, so I was just kind of... I was like, these Janna autos are hurting a lot. Dudu gets the kill, as Dudu has killed many of us PSO2 players before. I don't know if the Dudu is a PSO reference. It probably isn't. But if it is Dudu and you watch this, love you. The enemy engages yet again, seeing 2 of us out of position, a support and a squishy Anivia. I go straight for Gwen, and I reflected this was a terrible idea. I should have just gone for the Samira, but this does take 3 people away from them, and fortunately, because of the positioning, Janna's not able to do anything. But I've got 3 people off of Anivia. Lilia's on her way. Janna just about tries to get a shield onto Anivia, but it's not going to be enough. Samira's ulting 1 person. I'm pretty sure Samira's ult doesn't really have much of a cooldown anyway. I flash over the wall before Singed kind of CCs me into my doom. And as I start to chase Janna, that brings them into Lilia, who's waiting in the bush. Gwen is lagging behind a bit, so I go for her. And we're going to get a nice sleep on Samira and who's other? I don't know, Galio? Someone. Singed. My laner. So we attack the Gwen, and this is where I'm happy. Look at this. Look at this. Just sidestep. Just sidestep the Gwen. It's all you have to do. It's the same as Everfrost. It can be a little annoying because Gwen's is faster than Set's, but the last hit of Gwen's Q is what counts the most, other than, you know, the 4 rapid fire hits. If you don't get hit by the center, not only are you not taking true damage, flat damage, but you're also not taking any of that percentage magic damage. So very, very important to not be in the center of the queue. Whereas with Set, you take high damage, it's either physical or true though. And Set's is just so crazy that if you make that one misstep, you're about to be in a true world of hurt. So with Gwen, it's a little less extreme, I say. Also, Gwen doesn't build health to scale it, which is... I don't like how some people put Gwen on the same level as Viego and Yone. I don't think she's up there. I would take some nerfs on Gwen and I'd still play her because whatever. Sometimes I do think she's a bit busted, but not that high. Come on. Anyway, tangent. We take the Baron. There's not much really to talk about anymore. I mean, we bought... Okay, so other than Stridebreaker, we bought another odd item. First of all, we bought Titanic Hydra second. Titanic Hydra is one of my favorite items on Thresh. And I usually go for it first because I really like that extra AD and that extra punch and that extra wave clear. But I think I've really been sleeping on Stridebreaker and I might recommend that over it. I don't know. It has less health than Titanic. Yep, it has 200 less health than Titanic. And you can see that when we have Stridebreaker as well, this Titanic actually gives 52 damage, which is really nice. And the ability haste on Stridebreaker is really welcome. And you know what? I think Stridebreaker is better than Titanic. But I need some testing. That 250 health might make a world of difference. But then again, so might that extra AD and attack speed. And of course the active. Actives are priceless, and I'm thinking Titanic isn't the way anymore. But I could just be making a very flex decision, a very kind of knee-jerk reaction to be using Stridebreaker once. That's why I never like to say anything too conclusive too soon, but it's really good. We also have Lucidity. Okay, we're going to have to talk about that after we talk about this little scuffle happening here. So Janna, I remember this, Janna just kind of walked down the lane and started fighting. She just chose violence for some reason. Anyway, we all get scared by wards as you do. So we buy Lucidity as well. I wanted to go for an aggressive option. I didn't want to bother with defensive options. Almost on purpose in this game, I wanted to force myself into aggression. And Lucidity seems like a good fit because that haste is so useful, and given how much of a difference I'm feeling with the Stridebreaker, and the Stridebreaker is reduced by ability haste itself, Lucidity just makes sense. It's really good. However, if I was behind, it would be a terrible idea, I think, because then we just get stomped harder. So if you're losing lane, not the best idea. But winning lane, probably a really good idea. You get enough armor from souls to deal with most things. That's so they don't just nuke you. The only issue I have this game is how fast I will melt to their AP damage, because I don't have any magic for this at this point in time. I've got high health to deal with kind of some of the immediate burst, but when Gwen and Cassiopeia and Singed, if they ever got the jump on me properly, I would just take so much damage, it's insane. But the health does give me that saving. Just look how much burn damage I'm taking from Leandry's alone. Definitely painful. Gwen is immune. Don't worry, we're just standing here doing kind of a bit of nothing. Trying to get the Grump, but instead of giving me the healing from the Grump, Lilia just kind of takes it for herself, whatever. Just going to peel Janna a bit, not that Janna ever needs someone else to peel her. Hook the Galio, he's a bit tanky though. Janna ults him back. Lands a nice little max range thingy. Oh, look at that chunky auto attack. The shield though does go off, but she is now asleep in the box. Unfortunately, she actually isn't in the box. I guess Samira is just that slender. But bowling ball misses. We walk up a bit. Try to lantern her, but she's already kind of been flipped, and there are minions all over it anyway. Singe kind of walks up into a tornado, and that means ba-bam, you're getting hooked. And ba-bam, you're getting Q-flayed Stridebreakered. Apparently, during the flip, I cast it before the flip, so then the cast time happens, but I guess it's not a channel, so it doesn't get interrupted. Now, I'm thinking, Janna, we need to get out of here. After we emote it, because Gwen can't do anything. But little did I know, Samira. Also, I'm trying to get away. Okay, hold on, spoilers. First of all, Gwen kind of fights, and you can see that first of all, I don't dodge her Q, so she does a lot of damage to me. And then we take this right here. And then again, I'm like, Janna, we need to get out of here. We cleared the waves here. I'm looking at the mini-map right now because I know what's about to happen. And little do I know, also I'm like, Janna, get out of there, it's dangerous. Oh, shit. I'm dead to Samira. And shields. Yeah. We got exactly caught 200 years. I just walked into her and died, gave her a reset, whatever that means for Samira. But now you can see I've got the Chempunk Chainsword. Again, health and AD. Real nice. Ability haste too. And the Grievous Wounds we need against this, and this. And also, Gwen has an ace healing as well. Okay, so that's going to help us a lot with them. We already had the Grievous Wounds in the last fight, so Gwen couldn't heal nearly as much as she could have otherwise. Now, that was a bit of a yeet by Lilia. I think she might have been flipped, actually. Oh, wait, no, there's no Singe. That's Samira. Anyway, chunky. Lots of damage from a bit of everyone, and of course I take it because I am Thresh and I deserve killing AD carries. Now, I'm not in the Cassiopeia range. Q in on the Galio. Stridebreaker damage, and just burst him down. It's really nice. That's a tanky boy. Even if he is 312. Oh god, he's 312. Yes. Now, this is a triple kill, and at this point, I chase Singed into his gas, desperately wanting that, and he's got the move speed from ultimate. I'm trying to see if maybe, if he thinks I'm dying to the gas, he'll walk back in, and then I'll kill him, but that doesn't actually work out, so I give up. There you go. No pentakills for me, unfortunately. We're 44 to 26, and we've gotten 2 dragons since they got the initial 2, so we're not doing that bad. We get the middle inhibitor, we get the top inhibitor, and then we call a Baron. I'm actually also piloting in the game at this point, but it's fine because we're so ahead. Matchmaking decided that we win, and I'm just trying to enjoy it, okay? A lot of people like to point out when you get carried or whatever, but like I said, a lot of people tend to say 40% of the games you have no say in the victory, 40% of the games you have no say in the loss, and 20% of games you can actually do something. I think I've already said that, but I don't remember if I said that in the replay or if I've said that in the commentary that you'll never hear. Anyway, we kill them, but I get Gary ulted and just destroyed, but that's okay because my team is so big that he just gets completely eaten, and we don't know what exactly we were chasing. I think trying to help Lilia, who is going to be able to kill this Cassiopeia, but then trying to get away from this Singe. She's going to get flipped. Oh no, she doesn't. She's completely fine. And Janna comes in with a shield anyway. Does miss the bowling ball. Does miss this. And will die to poison. Oh, no. Oh, this is intense Lilia gameplay. Getting a little pushing power done. The bottom inhibitor is being taken. The bottom Nexus turret is being taken. Baron buff's going a bit wild here. I don't have a teleport, I have Ignite, remember? So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be in this family photo so far. Cassieva's going to die to the plasma damage, and then Kai'Sa, unfortunately, is an offering. She does try to ult for that extra bit of shield, which does tank for quite a significant amount of time. And then Gwen does press R 3 times, doing a lot of damage. Will not be able to catch the Janna, though, not yet. She needs to E these minions, but she refuses. And therefore, Janna gets away. It's okay. This Gwen was like first time. Something like that. She didn't have mastery. It's running Dark Harvest. But I think it's okay to flame the Gwen because apparently the Gwen was flaming the Cassiopeia, who was first time in Cassiopeia, like actually the whole time. Whatever. Okay, flaming's never right. Never do it in game. Do it in your head. It's fine. Also, I hope you can't hear any of those weird noises in the background. Yeah, weird neighborhood. So we engage this 1v1 with Gwen. I kind of waited for her to fight the dragon so she might Q it. And then I do flash a bit late, but in desperation to not take that true damage. Dragon's going to help out a little as well. And then bam, she's dead. Then with the Stridebreaker as well. I saw Galio coming up on the minimap, so I'm a little worried about taking this dragon. You can see that most of them have given up on the idea of dragon though. With Janna coming in, oh god, Gwen left. And reconnected, okay, fair. Hopefully that wasn't during our fight. Doesn't seem to be. Anivia teleported and helps us kind of pave the way. Galio goes back to defend because they can't do anything about this dragon actually. I, for some reason, think that I can still get a heal off that, and I can't. There's no Gromp, so there is no heals for me. But you know what there is? There is a Nexus, which we will go and consume with pride as we walk up to slap the enemies once more. Get a Q on this boy, kill him, and then quickly get... Who is this? Gwen. Kill Gwen. And kill the Nexus. A GG. Now, I'm still a little upset this isn't a live game. I was really hyped in it, and with it, you just have to take my word because there is no audio record of that. My bad. But if you do want to see some live stuff, hopefully without the mic muted, then please come by on Monday over on the Twitch, link in the description. I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, and I haven't streamed League in over 3 weeks, but I've been playing a bit here and there this week. Still a bit rusty, but hopefully good enough for some memes and streams. Hope you guys enjoyed this replay commentary. Sorry it's not live, but it is what it is. Thank you so much again for watching. Like and subscribe because I never say that enough and I guess I should. Please do. It really does help out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.